Hey, Pretty Girl Club. Welcome back to the Beluga series. This is where we talk about thin privilege, and this is going to be a part three to the Unlearning Big Back Behaviors videos that I've done. But I just want to talk about this because I recently went to a Christmas party and some beluga decided to make a comment and said, "Oh, I've never seen Exoticals United eat anything. Does she ever eat?" And it's like, first of all, Sasquatch, if you spent half as much time investing in your own fitness as you do with monitoring mine, you wouldn't even be worried about what I'm doing. Why is it that the biggest person in the room is always the one that's the most worried about you being anorexic? Like, bitch, I'm not gonna sit here at this Christmas party and binge on a whole bunch of food so I can prove to you that I actually eat. It is not my responsibility to specifically eat in front of you so that I can show you that I'm healthy. And also, have you ever noticed that a lot of girls with a beluga mindset, they just want to watch what we eat so they can be a monitoring spirit? It's like, you're just going to be a monitoring spirit or copy me. That's the only reason that you want to watch me eat. Like, why are you monitoring what I'm eating and what I'm not eating? We are at a Christmas party, Sasquatch. We should be enjoying the vibes at the Christmas party. But I showed up to this Christmas party and I was wearing a belly shirt. Yes, I am aware that it's December. Yes, I'm aware that it's cold outside. But when you have a flat stomach, you get to show it off. So we're going to be indoors. There's going to be heat in the house. So, yes, I can wear a belly shirt. And I feel like a lot of people who have a beluga mindset, they always get pissed off when skinny girls show off our bodies and they're like, "Oh, it's too cold for that. Oh, well, you shouldn't be wearing that. You're doing too much. Well, why are you showing so much skin?" And it's like, who died and made you the police over other women's bodies? The women that police your body the most are usually the ones who are the most obese. They have the most insecurities about their own bodies. And it's like, they want to watch what you eat. They want to watch what you wear. And it's like, I worked hard for this body. So, yes, I'm going to show it off. Of course, I'm going to show my stomach. When you actually have a nice stomach, you want to show it off. When you have a skinny back that looks perfectly toned and gorgeous, you want to show that off. So I am absolutely going to be wearing a belly shirt in December. Yes, I will be showing off the body that I worked hard for. And this is something that a lot of skinny girls won't tell you. Yes, we think we look good. Oh, well, you think you're the shit. Yes, we do. That's correct. So now what? And also to this beluga at the Christmas party who tried to talk shit, she was actually incorrect when she said that she's never seen me eat because I had actually eaten 1,000 calories right there at that party. I actually overate that day, and I purposely allowed myself to eat higher calories because I wanted to enjoy the little bonfire. I wanted to enjoy the s'mores and all that. So I had already planned to actually eat a lot. But this woman who had the beluga mindset, she happened to see me when I wasn't eating. She was so fixated on what I was not eating. And I've noticed that a lot of women with that mindset, they do this projection thing. They convince themselves that skinny girls are not eating at all. And that's just a coping mechanism. They convince themselves that in order to have my body type, that I must be starving myself or I must not be getting any protein. And it's like, ma'am, I have done several DEXA scans. I know my exact body fat percentage. I actually just did another one yesterday. So I know exactly how much protein I'm getting. I get 100 grams of protein per day minimum. I don't always do it perfectly, but that is what I shoot for every single day. I've started putting protein in my coffee. I try to snack on protein. Instead of eating ice cream, I will have like Greek yogurt if I'm craving something cold. So all of my shit has protein in it. So isn't it ironic how I got accused of not eating enough when not only do I have adequate protein, but I actually ate 1,000 calories that night because I planned to eat that much. But she ignored all of that. She ignored all of the signs of me living a normal life. They're stereotyping thin people. They feel like we don't live normal lives. They feel like we don't enjoy anything. Like, oh, it's Christmas time. She must be sitting there just skinny and miserable. Oh, well, she can't eat anything and she has to keep her stomach flat. Or how about I have discipline? Because I actually plan what I'm going to do. Like, if I have a Christmas party, Usually I will try to eat really well 3 days before and 3 days after. So when I ate the s'mores and stuff at the Christmas party, for the next couple of days, I cleared out my body by eating higher vegetables than normal. So I ate like really high fiber. I made sure to get a lot of greens in my diet because sometimes processed food, it makes me constipated. And that's another thing. A lot of belugas won't tell you that they are constantly constipated. So just because you have boo boo stuck in your butt right now, that doesn't mean you have to treat me like trash. And the same people talking shit about me wearing a belly shirt, if they had my stomach, they'd be living in a belly shirt. Have you ever noticed that the ones who accuse you of being a hoe or being immodest, if they had your body, they would be flaunting it all over social media? And I've also noticed that with this particular woman, she wants to lose weight. She has literally said several times that she wants to lose weight, but she said that she can't work out because she's injured. Ma'am, I just saw you walk in and out of the kitchen 5 different times. You were walking up and down the stairs. You walked up and down a flight of stairs just so you could get an extra plate of food, but suddenly when it comes to working out, oh, you're injured. Oh, well, you tore your meniscus, you tore your ACL. Oh, well, you tore your Achilles. You have an injury. Isn't that what physical therapy is for? They literally have workout classes for old people where they sit in a chair and they still do workouts. They have aquatic aerobics where they go in the pool. So you're telling me that because you tore something up 15 years ago, that now suddenly you can't do any workouts at all. But I saw you dancing, I've seen you twerking, I've seen you dropping it like it's hot on social media. So you have enough strength to shake your ass on Instagram, but you don't have the strength to go on the stair stepper. Do you see the mental gymnastics that are required to be a beluga? And they talk about thin people like, oh, we just have EDs. No, you have an ED. You're the one doing the mental gymnastics. Maybe if you did some physical gymnastics, then you wouldn't have these problems. So you're over here busting out into the splits so that you can show off how you can ride the D. But then when it comes to being at a Christmas party, not only are you not watching your own calories, but instead you want to target the pretty girl. You want to target the skinny one and say, oh, well, she never eats. Well, I never see her eating. Ma'am, are you a part of the FBI? Like, why are you spying on other people's diets? And then I also noticed that when it comes to this woman in particular, anytime I have seen this woman, I notice that she also complains about dating, like, oh, well, time is just passing me by and I'm just getting older and there are no men out there, there are slim pickings. And it's like, okay, so everything is everybody else's fault. I noticed that anything in her life that she feels like she didn't succeed in, there's always some external reason why. So that's called a lack of accountability. She doesn't want to take accountability for her own choices or for her own body. It's just this mindset of, oh, well, 10 years ago I got an injury. Do you know how much athletes get injuries? Think about the guys in the NFL because, you weigh about the same as them. So they're 250 pounds. They get concussions. They get their ACL torn. They get sore sometimes. So instead of them just sitting out for 15 years and saying, oh, I'm just never going to exercise again, they do what's called recovery. So just like how you play a sport, they also have sports recovery. Why is it that almost every time I come across a woman with a beluga mindset, she doesn't understand wellness? She doesn't understand self-care. So if I get injured, I get sore all the time from like lifting weights or doing a new workout. So if I'm sore, I will do some stretches, bitch. I will take out the freaking yoga mat and go into some yoga poses. I don't just sit around and complain, oh, well, I can never go to the gym again because my foot was sore 6 months ago, so now I'm just not going to go on a walk. That's why they have modified exercises. It's so you don't have to use the exact same area where you injured yourself. But a lot of women with this mindset, they have a lazy mindset. They don't want to look up online how to do a workout if you tore your Achilles, how to do a workout if your foot is hurting, how to do something else where you're working out in the chair. When I was working a 9 to 5, I would literally be doing leg raises while I'm sitting in my chair at my cubicle. I would have my ankle weights on and I would be doing leg raises. And I've seen some people where at their cubicle, they had a little stair stepper thing like under their desk, and they would just take little steps on the stair stepper while they're sitting there at their desk. So you're telling me that people who work 9 to 5s, they're doing workouts in their chair all day long while they're working, but because you had a foot injury 10 years ago, now suddenly you can't go on a walk. But you can twerk on the internet, you can show off your ass, and you can walk up and down several flights of stairs so you could get seconds. And then you want to complain about what I'm not doing. Has anyone ever noticed that when you are thin, a lot of bigger people, they want you to seek their approval? And like, if you have a different lifestyle, they'll make this claim that you think you're better, or you're being fat phobic, or you're not being body positive. Why is it that body positivity only applies to big girls? Why can't I be positive about being skinny? Why can't I be proud of having a toned body? Why do I have to gorge myself on 50 pounds of sweets so that I can make you feel better? And it's like, if you're fat and confident, then you wouldn't be triggered by women who are thin. Like the bigger women, you actually see big women commenting on my channel, big women who are confident in being big, you'll see them commenting supporting my channel. Or you'll see women who want to lose weight and they'll be like, oh, this is inspiring me to lose weight. They are minding their business. They don't have to tear me down. They don't have to tear down women who are small and say that we look like children, or saying that we look like little boys. And by the way, I am convinced that unhealthy eating is a form of self-harm. So, not working out, that woman is neglecting herself. That's a form of self-harm. That's a form of self-hate. She hates herself. That's why she doesn't care to go to the gym. That's why she doesn't care to eat vegetables. She doesn't care about her life. If you don't care about your life, just say it. Because we can all see it. You don't have to try to blame everything on your foot injury from 15 years ago, or how your medical insurance doesn't cover physical therapy. You don't have to try to blame it on the entire medical system. No, you just don't care about your own body. And that's why you're not eating healthy. That's why you don't eat vegetables. And I see a lot of women, they're like, oh, well, I'm eating less food and I'm not losing weight. Well, what kind of food are you eating? You're probably not eating vegetables. I have never seen somebody become obese from eating too many vegetables. And when I observe big people, when I look at their eating habits, they're almost always having something processed. Hot Pockets, Pop-Tarts, McDonald's, Chick-fil-A. For whatever reason, they seem to have an obsession with all the drive-thrus, I noticed. Because almost every time I see a woman with a beluga mindset, she'll have like a big gulp. You know those sweet teas and stuff that you get from McDonald's where it's like 32 ounces, it's a giant cup. Why do I always see somebody's overweight daughter walking around with a giant cup in her hand? That cup of soda, that 40 ounces of soda, that's already like 1,000 calories right there. Oh, and by the way, I recently found out that some sodas that are made of citric acid, that it's actually made from black mold. And if you don't believe me, I can put a screenshot right here that is proving that citric acid, which is in majority of sodas, like 7-Up and Mountain Dew and all that, yeah, you're literally drinking a derivative of black mold, and you have the audacity to accuse me of harming my body. So you're sitting over here eating poison and drinking black mold, talking about, oh, I'm body positive. Oh, I'm confident in my body, but then I get triggered because this girl's wearing a belly shirt. I've just noticed that there is a special type of jealousy against women who have a flat stomach. Just in general, I really do believe that having a flat stomach in and of itself is already a privilege. Because everybody's body shape is not, the shape that will have a naturally flat stomach. Like the apple shape is not conducive to a flat stomach all the time. So I understand why even the cone shape as well, the cone body shape, sometimes can struggle with not having a flat stomach. So I just feel like if you are a skinny girl that also has a flat stomach, it's like you're triggering people even more because you have already attained what the majority of Americans cannot attain. Do you know how much discipline it takes to have a flat stomach? And by the way, they say that abs are created in the kitchen. And I've already talked about how most belugas, they think the gym is going to solve all their problems. It's not. If you go to the gym and then you go home and eat 5,000 calories, you just wasted your time. And then I see a lot of people saying things like, oh, well, you little girls who are skinny, you guys eat like rabbits. You eat like a bunny. You eat like a hamster. Okay, well, hamsters and bunnies are some of the most pedestalized animals in the world. Do you know how many people want to look like a bunny? Do you know how many people think bunnies are cute? Do you know how many people think that hamsters are cute and they want that as their pet? So those are animals that literally get celebrated for being cute. I don't see people celebrating rats and how cute they are. No, they celebrate bunnies, they celebrate hamsters. So telling thin women that we eat like bunnies and hamsters, that's actually not the diss that you think it is. Because what kind of animal would I rather look like? A bunny or Sasquatch? If I had to choose what creature I want to look like, would I choose a hamster or Shrek? Which creature do you think I would rather look like? So calling me a little bunny rabbit and saying, oh, you're eating your rabbit food, that's not a diss. That's actually a compliment. So thank you. They literally have makeup trends right now that are called bunny makeup. And it's women who are trying to make themselves look like a bunny, or they're trying to make themselves look like a deer. Because that's another name I've been called. I've been called Bambi before. Like I've had people make fun of me in school and say that I look like Bambi. And it's like, okay, first of all, Bambi is like very pretty. And she has these long, pretty legs. So thank you. You're literally just complimenting my body. And have you guys also noticed how a lot of big people, they claim that they're so picky. They'll be like, "Oh, I'm a picky eater. Oh, well that food's nasty. Oh, well you skinny girls, you're drinking nasty milkshakes. And so, I can't have that. I have to have food that tastes good." Excuse me, Martha. I just saw you eating gas station candy bars the other day. So you mean to tell me that something from the gas station that tastes better than going to an actual bakery and getting chocolate where they literally made it in-house? You're telling me that your little gas station Twix bar, that's probably expired, you're telling me that your expired Snickers bar tastes better than some chocolate truffles from the French bakery? No, it doesn't. That's a coping mechanism. You're lying. You're lying to yourself and trying to convince yourself that thin women, that we don't enjoy food. That's another stereotype. There's this stereotype that we don't enjoy food. And it's like, okay, first of all, even if I didn't enjoy food, do you know how many other things there are in this life other than food? So yeah, I'm sorry if my whole life doesn't revolve around a plate of pasta. I'm sorry if the biggest thing I look up to in life is not having a piece of chocolate cake. Some of us actually enjoy our health. Some of us actually enjoy being able to hike an entire mountain. Some of us enjoy being able to complete a 5K or being able to go biking and do a triathlon. There are so many other achievements that I can have in this world other than who can eat the most chicken wings. So telling us that, oh, well, they don't really enjoy food as much, they're missing out on life. Okay, you just admitted that you worship food, so you're a slave to food. You're a slave to your taste buds. Oh, and by the way, for all the women who are claiming that they're so positive, why is it that all of the body positive people end up losing the weight? Lizzo is currently losing weight. Adele is also losing weight. There are so many women who lost weight. Oprah, she ended up losing weight. So why is it that people are saying it's so positive, but then behind closed doors, they're still figuring out how to get to a healthy weight? So it's like, okay, who's the positive one? You? The one who's binging on red dye number 5 and drinking black mold in your soda? Or is it me, the one who's actually at a healthy weight, according to my medical records? But I hear people saying, oh, Exoticals United, what about the BBWs? What about them? Okay, BBWs work out. Name one BBW, name one famous plus size model that never works out. Even they work out. Even they are doing weightlifting, and they always end up gradually losing weight because they're building that discipline. They're building the discipline of getting to a healthier size or looking healthy or wanting to look toned. And another thing too is that a lot of big women, once they come into some money, what's the first thing they do? Go and get 360 lipo. They go and get a tummy tuck. So this whole mindset of nobody wants to look like you look like a boy. Okay, then why is it that you're so triggered when your man is looking at thin women on Instagram then? Why are you so triggered if your man is calling these celebrity women beautiful and those celebrities are thin? Why are you so triggered then? If all of us are so ugly, if skinny women are so ugly and having a flat stomach makes you look like a boy, then why do you get so jealous when a woman does get a tummy tuck? Why do you get so angry when a big woman gets gastric bypass surgery? Because that's another thing. They'll shame women who use Ozempic or they get gastric bypass. Well, why are you mad at them? I thought that body positivity was you're supposed to like cater to everyone and you accept everyone. And also, I thought that it's your body, your choice. What happened to that talking point? So if it's your body, your choice, why are you mad? And why do you feel so left behind when women get the gastric bypass? It's because they feel like they're being left behind socially. That's what it is. They feel like they are socially falling behind. So that's why they don't want you to lose weight. They want you to feel ashamed for wearing a belly shirt. And also, let's be honest, a lot of the clothes that they market to plus size women are not as cute as the clothes for skinny women. And that's very messed up. I really do feel like the fashion industry does not cater to women who are obese. So why would I try to sit here and pretend like the world is just set up in my favor? It's not. The world favors people who are thin. So when you get on an airplane seat, they're not thinking about people who are 500 pounds. That's not what they're thinking about when they build those seats. When you're getting kicked out of a buffet because, you ate too much food there, yeah, that's because they didn't make that buffet with obese people in mind. So I know that a lot of big people are not really comfortable being big because as soon as they get access to get Ozempic, they will go and get it. So that's proof that being thin and being at a healthy weight is in. And to all the belugas who keep trying to flag my videos, flagging my skinny videos, that doesn't change the fact that you're overweight. That doesn't change the fact that you're pre-diabetic. So you can flag as many videos as you want. I'm just going to keep uploading them to my backup channel. By the way, please follow my backup channel, Exoticals Unfiltered. Also, please follow my TikTok at exoticals.united. We just passed 1,000 followers. But another excuse that I hear is another big back habit is this mindset of, oh, well, I already messed up today, so I might as well just eat what I want. No, just because I overate a little bit, it doesn't mean that I just jump off the cliff and just eat an extra 1,000 calories. It doesn't mean that I start behaving like an idiot and just binging. Oh, well, I'm past my calorie limit, so let me just binge the rest of the day. Why would I want to set myself up for failure? I think the biggest difference between thin women and big women is the thin women, they always get back on track. So like if I have a day where I overate, let's say I did overeat by 1,000 calories, the next day I just go back to my normal habit. I go back to my norm of eating cabbage. And another thing too is a lot of us thin women, we eat a lot of the same meals. So I have my go-to meals that I eat. The top 10 things in my diet are eggs, protein bars, protein shakes, leafy greens, so spinach, kale, cabbage, collard greens. I eat a lot of sweet potato. I prefer sweet potato as my carb, sweet potato or yam. And then I will eat beans occasionally. That's pretty much, those are my top 10 foods where pretty much every day you're going to see me incorporating that in my diet. Also, if I want a treat, I will have some form of fruit. So strawberries with Cool Whip, or maybe I'll have Greek yogurt with some blueberries on top and some honey drizzled on top of that. And, if I'm really feeling decadent, I'll put a little tablespoon of Cool Whip on top of that. That's my dessert. My dessert is fruit. So you're pretty much always going to see me eating that. And I've noticed for a lot of thin women, it's the same thing. If I want a snack, I'm going to have something crunchy like celery, or I'm going to have something crunchy like peppers. I love bell peppers, like chopped up red, yellow, green peppers. I can just eat those raw. I can eat onions raw as well. And by the way, when I first started, I was actually doing, I think, 2 out of 3 meals raw. That's another thing I forgot to mention on this YouTube channel. So when I say eating raw, what I mean is like just taking the apple out of the fridge, rinsing it off, and then just eating the apple. So it's like raw fruit. Or just having a salad, which is like raw veggies. And I hear a lot of people talking shit about replacements, like, oh, I don't want to have replacement sugar, that's fake. Oh, I don't want to have replacement oils, that's fake. Okay, well, your attitude is fake because you're having replacement drinks like soda. That's not natural. That's not from the earth. So why is it that you suddenly want to become the freaking food police when it comes to healthy foods? Oh, well, that's fake. Well, that's artificial. Meanwhile, you spent the past 35 years having artificial food. You're over here eating pizza pockets and Snickers bars talking about, oh, well, that's not natural to have stevia. Oh, it's not natural to have honey. That still is a high sugar content. Okay, well, it's not as bad as the Skittles you're eating for breakfast. And a lot of this mindset is really just women looking for convenience. And so that's why they stop at like the gas station or whatever. And it's like, okay, how about you just fill up your entire tank once a week or however often you need to. And so then you don't have to go to the gas station every morning. And also, that's an excuse. That's a lie. You don't have to go get gas every morning. You're stopping there so you can go and get some sweets. So stop calling it, oh, I'm stopping to get gas. No, you're stopping to get candy bars. You're not actually getting gas and filling your tank every single day. So have you noticed that they mislabel things? They mislabel their own hobbies. They mislabel the activities they're doing as a coping mechanism. Oh, well, I was just hanging out at home. Hanging out? You mean you were sitting on your ass and scrolling your phone. That's what you were doing. You were doom scrolling. So stop trying to name it a cute name. Oh, I'm hanging out. Oh, I'm just stopping for gas. Oh, I'm just getting a little snack. No, you're not getting a little snack. You're getting a 2,500 calorie processed meat, and you're going to be hungry 2 hours later. So call it what it is. Oh, well, I'm just craving donuts right now. You're not craving a donut. You're craving carbs, sugar, and dopamine. Okay, so call it what it is. Oh, I'm craving a soda right now. No, you're actually craving citric acid that comes from black mold. Let's start calling things based on the chemical properties of what it actually is. It's made from black mold. So it's time to be honest with yourself. Hey, I'm craving black mold. Something's wrong. And also this excuse about, oh, I'm on my period right now. No, you still have control over your limbs and your body and your muscles. Your period is not forcing you to drive 50 miles so you could go to the chicken spot. So you could go get 10 pieces of catfish. That's not your period. That's your free will. Having a period doesn't mean that you suddenly, you don't have any free will anymore. You just couldn't help it. You're just craving so much. You can't stop thinking about the cupcakes. Okay, so you're just desperate for a cupcake. You're a slave. That's a groupie mindset. That's a pick-me mindset. That's why I talk so much shit, and I say that a lot of women with this beluga mindset, they also tend to have a pick-me mindset as well. Because you're already a pick-me for a cupcake. You're a pick-me for anything that makes you feel good. So your life is revolving around cupcakes and dick. Okay, so you're a pick-me. Just say it. Hey, I'm a pick-me for cupcakes. Hey, I'm a groupie for a bag of Doritos. Hey, I'm a groupie for 7-Up. Yeah, I'm addicted to sugar. I'm addicted to the white stuff. I can't get off of it. I have to have my white powder every day. Salt, sugar, flour. Being a beluga is literally a spin-off of the pick-me mindset, except you're just a pick-me for the food. That's what it is. And by the way, a lot of people say, oh, I can't lose weight because it's too hard. No, what's hard is not being able to walk up the stairs. That's what's hard. Being fat is much harder than being skinny. I can't walk up the stairs. I've got breathing problems now. I've got hella mucus in my body. If you're overeating on a bunch of processed dairy, you're dealing with all this mucus now. You're dealing with inflammation in the body, acne. A lot of times the acne that comes from eating unhealthy foods and also the allergies, that means that your body is like so inflamed with so many toxins to where it starts purging it out of your skin. So your skin is literally seeping out toxicity partially from your diet. So you're talking about being skinny is hard? No, having all those problems, that's hard. If I had to choose between privilege stacking and trauma stacking, I'd rather just stack my privileges. Why would I want to cause extra problems for myself? So now I'm fat, stomach's hanging out of my jeans, stretch marks everywhere, varicose veins everywhere, diabetes. My gut is messed up. I'm over here constipated 24/7. Teeth are turning yellow from eating so much sugar. Teeth are falling out. Hair is thin because my iron content is low. Nails are breaking off, hair is breaking off because I don't have protein, so no muscle tone. That's hard. And don't even get me started about the dating problems and the friendship problems that a lot of big women have, like feeling excluded from the pretty girl club. Go look on TikTok right now. Go look at their content that says fat phobia. Just type that into TikTok or type it into YouTube, and all you're going to see is a bunch of obese women complaining about how they never fit in, how they're at the bottom of society, how men treat them like trash, how their own family members reject them or make fun of their weight. So you're talking about being thin is hard? No, actually, according to your own talking points, being obese is way harder than being thin. Why would I set myself up for all those issues when all I have to do is just eat some vegetables? Literally, all of those problems could be solved by simply eating vegetables. And I see a lot of women, they make so many excuses. I'm like, you will do anything but eat some spinach. You're over here binging on ice cream. A gallon of ice cream hates to see you coming. And I've got all these burger belugas talking shit about me on YouTube. And it's like, ma'am, all you had to do was just eat a veggie burger. Instead of having that McDonald's burger every day, you could have just made a veggie burger at home. And then maybe you wouldn't be shaped like a burger patty. Don't get mad at me because you're shaped like a burger patty. It's not my fault you're shaped like Humpty Dumpty. Another reason why being a beluga is hard is because it's expensive. Do you know how expensive it is to eat 2 pizzas in one day? Imagine ordering 2 pizzas for yourself and that's like one meal. Or you're eating 2 entire pizzas a day. That's like $30 a day worth of food. That's $900 per month just for you to feed yourself. So that's hard. You're talking about, oh, being skinny is hard. No, spending $900 a month on food just so I could get through the day. No, that's hard. And I see all these Wendy's warriors talking about, oh, well, Wendy's has the 4 for $4, so, that's not expensive. I know that you're not just going to spend $4 at Wendy's. You're more likely to spend $40 at Wendy's, knowing you. Because if you could fully feed yourself on just $4, then you wouldn't be obese to begin with. And also, I just want to say, shout out to the hippopotamus species because even a hippo actually eats 100 pounds worth of grass. So it's like, bitch, even the hippo is healthier than you. Even a polar bear is healthier than you because polar bears eat fish. You haven't had fresh fish in 5 years. So yes, if a freaking polar bear is healthier than me, that's a problem. If a hippopotamus has a healthier diet than me, then yes, that is a problem. Even beluga whales eat salmon. Like the actual belugas that swim in the water, they actually eat salmon. So you're telling me that an actual whale eats healthier than you. So no, I don't want those problems. I enjoy being thin. I enjoy the fact that my happiness is not centered around food. My happiness is not centered around a cupcake. My life doesn't revolve around grocery store sales or coupons on my phone. You know, the women that are constantly watching to see when they can get some free cookies. My life doesn't revolve around crumble cookie. And you know how they say you can train your taste buds? Overeating is hard because you're literally training yourself to eat past fullness. You're overworking your liver, so that's hard. So the same discipline that it took you to become fat, the same consistency that it took for you to overeat every single day for 5 years and become fat, all you have to do is use the same energy towards becoming thin again. And then for the people who are like, oh, well, I'm not losing weight fast enough. How long did it take you to gain weight? You've been fat for 15 years. So yeah, it took you 15 years to gain the weight. It's probably not going to take you one day to lose it all. So you can't spend your whole life sabotaging yourself and then get mad when you don't get to reverse it in one day. No, that's called suffering the consequences of your own actions. So how about you learn from your mistake and then you put in that same consistency so that you can fix the mistake? And a lot of people are just bad at telling themselves no. They're bad at telling themselves no. They're very impulsive. Okay, so that's its own problem. So fix that. Stop being so impulsive 24/7. Stop doing everything just based on how you feel in the moment and then regretting it later. Part of what keeps me thin is that I don't want to experience the regret of getting fat. I hate that feeling. Like when I used to be a beluga, I hated that feeling of, oh, I'm just going to go ahead and eat 800 calories worth of Oreos. And then when I go to a big event where I got all dressed up and everything, and then I see what I could have looked like, and here I am sitting here in my crop top feeling insecure. I've got fat rolls hanging out and shit. I hate that feeling of regret. Like, wow, I really wish I would have just stuck to my workout plan. I really wish I would have just had the salads instead of having burgers every day. So for me, part of what keeps me in line is I want to protect this beautiful body that I've spent time curating. Why would I go and sabotage something that I just built? Why would I take myself this far? I made this much progress, and you're telling me now I'm just going to fuck it up? Absolutely not. I'm not going to undo this progress. I will never be big again. I mean, to be honest, I was actually never big. I've never been obese, but still, I will continue to maintain my current size. I'm not willing to give up this body because I like this body. I like how it looks. I like what my lifestyle looks like. I like how clothes look on me. I feel like I could wear the most simple outfit, but people always compliment it. And I feel like in reality, they don't realize that they're actually just complimenting my body. Because back when I was chunky, if I would wear a sweater and leggings, nobody said anything. But now when I wear a sweater and leggings, suddenly I'm being told that I look like a cheerleader. Oh, you look like a cheerleader. Oh, you remind me of one of the girls from Bring It On. Oh, you look like somebody out of a cheer movie. No, you're saying that because of my body. It's not because of a sweater and leggings. So, with this weight that I've lost, I am willing to do whatever is necessary so I can protect this body that I have. My health is valuable to me. My looks are also valuable to me because we know how biased society is. Society favors people who look good. So if I have to choose between having privilege or having trauma, obviously I'm going to choose the privilege. And something else that a lot of bigger women don't admit is that when you're big, other people are embarrassed of you too. Your kids are embarrassed of you. Your kids are probably at school getting made fun of, like, ha ha, your mom's fat. Ha ha, your sister's fat. So it's like people get embarrassed of you when you're bigger. Your own boyfriend or whoever you're hanging out with could be embarrassed of you. That's something else that a lot of people don't realize. That is how biased some people are against bigger people. So that's messed up. I wouldn't want my child to be made fun of because I chose to neglect myself. Being obese is a form of self-neglect. And then some people are like, oh, well, I was depressed and, that's why I overate. Okay, so then let's get that fixed then. Let's go and do some yoga. Let's go and, go to therapy or something. You don't just roll over and die and say, oh, well, too bad. I'm just going to suffer the rest of my life. Why would I want my life to be a living hell? I don't want that. I don't want my thighs rubbing together every time I take a step. I don't want to have rashes in between my thighs whenever it's hot outside. I want to be able to enjoy the summer. I want to be able to enjoy going to the beach and wearing a swimsuit. And I don't have to worry about my swimsuit riding up my butt cheeks 24/7 because, my butt is eating up the swimsuit. Because it's too small, I tried to squeeze into a size 8 when I'm actually a size 12. And I'm walking around trying to suck in my stomach, trying to spend all this money on Skims, trying to wear all these girdles, wearing 5 different girdles on top of each other, layering the girdles and layering all the waist trainers so that my stomach stops looking like a bowling ball when all I had to do was just eat a salad. All I had to do was stop being a sugar addict. But instead, I'd rather go through all this trouble spending hundreds of dollars on shapewear instead of spending hundreds of dollars on healthy groceries. Some women who have this beluga mindset, they give up too easily. They'll be like, oh, I don't feel like going to the gym. Oh, I'm tired. Oh, well, it's cold outside. Well, I don't feel like going up one level on the treadmill. Okay, and that right there, that's exactly why you're big. That's exactly why you're average. So I also start wondering, okay, what else in your life is fucked up then? What else in your life is average? Are your finances also messed up? Are your edges balding? Edges are messed up? Skin's messed up? Bad skincare? Bad dental care? Because I wouldn't be surprised if you're having all those other issues as well. Because that mindset of not wanting to push yourself, that's exactly why you're suffering. Self-discipline is the highest form of self-love. So when I say that I love myself, I mean it. What that means is, hey, I love myself enough to get up and go walk to the gym. I love myself enough to purchase fruits and vegetables instead of purchasing all the bakery items. And on this channel, I talk a lot about healing your inner child and kind of taking care of your inner child. Think about if you had an actual baby. You're not going to feed that baby poison. You don't want to sabotage that baby's diet. So I try to think of myself that way. I try to reparent myself. A lot of women are fat because they don't know how to reparent themselves. They don't know how to nurture themselves. They don't know how to discipline themselves, kind of like how a father would. They don't know how to provide structure for themselves. You're fat because you have no structure. And when it comes to food, I try to have a neutral mindset about food. So I'm not pedestalizing certain foods. I try my best not to demonize certain foods. I try not to beat myself up if I do make a mistake and, I overeat. Food is neutral. It could be used for good reasons or it could be used for bad reasons. But at the end of the day, how does my body feel after I eat that food? Do I feel good? Okay. then I'm going to keep doing it. And also, this whole intuitive eating thing, intuitive eating is for skinny people. Nowhere in their books did they say that intuitive eating is for obese people. And also, intuitive eating is actually not a weight loss strategy. That is just that's really for people who know how to listen to their own bodies. If you're obese, you don't know how to listen to your own body. That's what got you to being obese. You don't know how to listen to your own fullness cues. That's why you're eating past fullness and gaining weight. Gaining weight comes from eating in a calorie surplus. You're having too much food and your body doesn't need that much. So it's just storing it as fat. So if you actually knew how to be intuitive with your own body, you wouldn't be big to begin with. And I see a lot of the food police talking shit about keto or Weight Watchers or whatever. And it's like, okay, have you ever tried it, Martha? Have you tried keto? Because it doesn't look like it. Have you ever tried going vegan, Keisha? Because it sure doesn't look like it. Not with all that Popeyes you've been eating. So how would you know whether or not something's going to work for you if you've never tried it? That's another mindset issue that I see with a lot of belugas. Oh, well, I'm just not going to try. I'm just going to listen to all the negative remarks. I'm just going to listen to all the haters and all the negative rumors, and I'm just never going to try this. And it's like, okay, so that's why people don't try with you. That's why nobody tries to get to know you. That's why jobs don't try to hire you. That's why people don't try to be your friend or try to date you. It's hilarious how you don't even love yourself. You don't try when it comes to yourself. And then you get mad when other people keep that same energy with you. You know how people say, be the change you want to see? Okay, well, I respect myself. I love myself. I want to treat myself like a princess. And then I want other people to treat me that way too. But I can actually back up my shit because I do treat myself like a princess by creating a schedule for myself. You know why? Because I'm important. That's why. I'm important. My goals are very important. I deserve to be prioritized. My health and my life quality is important to me. And I'm never going to apologize for that. So if that means that people are going to make comments at Christmas parties like, oh, well, she never eats. I don't really care what those people think because at the end of the day, I love the body that I'm in. And the people saying it, they usually don't love the body that they're in. That's why they're projecting onto you. But what do you ladies think? Let me know in the comment section and I'll talk to you next time. Stay pretty, ladies.